Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to Millennial Investments. Tim here. I'm going to be doing another video on a potential investment that I'm looking at going into the week. I've talked a lot about this stock in the past few weeks, actually. We actually held some positions, but with the market pullback, we pulled out and looked for some lower price points. And I'm going to be looking at RMO, ticker RMO. That's Romeo Power Incorporated. This is actually a commercial EV battery manufacturer. They manufacture lithium ion batteries for this commercial EV market. Doing pretty well overall. I'm going to go over some DD that I've collected I want to share with you. Of course, this is going to be a more in-depth video just to prepare you now. More longer than our 3 to 4 minute videos, but I wanted to actually solidify our longer term investment and kind of provide you with some price targets on this company to give you some you know relative knowledge on what the business is. It's an American based company that's an industry leader in the design and manufacturing of energy dense lithium ion battery packs and modules, and it's focused on the electrification of commercial vehicles globally. The technology actually utilizes thermal engineering to distribute temperatures across battery cells, which increases its battery life. It uses the BMI AI technology to allow for maximum total fleet battery health and increases profitability and total cost to the customer. They actually have a 7 gigawatt state of the art facility in California, and they currently have about 544 million dollars in contracted revenue as of right now. They're currently negotiating up to 2.2 billion in advanced negotiations. They're targeting currently a 225 billion dollar market just in the U.S. and Europe alone, but ultimately about 665 billion dollar market globally. They currently possess about 68% of that market of Class 8 trucks, which are your EV diesels. I wouldn't even call them diesels, but like 18 wheelers and stuff like that in North America currently, with some customers of RMO being Freightliner, Kenworth, Peterbilt, and some additional key customers I'd like to point out is Autocar, BMW. They have a 10% investment from Borg Warner, which is a electrical component and drivetrain manufacturer, very strong in the new EV space as well. They have about 14 billion in annual revenue themselves, and they're going to be partnering with RMO basically to tackle the drivetrain and the battery systems for these EVs. So another play to look in. Green Power, the Lion Electric Company, Long Star Truck Group. They have a contract for the batteries that'll be provided for Nikola, NKLA, ticker NKLA, and Oshkosh, which actually won the contract over Workhorse, ticker WKHS, for the USPS governmental contract. They have a landmark agreement to supply leading Class 7 new entrants. And their target industries overall are about focused on medium duty short haul trucks, ranging up to about 300 miles, and then their heavy duty long haul trucks ranging up about 900 miles, and then they have specialty trucks and buses that range about 500 miles on one charge. Their current revenue expectations going into 2023 is about 765 million. They were looking at about 412 million going into 2022, which is about 20% of their current net worth or their market cap. So going into 2023, that'll be an additional 37% boost. 2024, they're looking at 1.2 billion, and 2025 about 1.6. Both of those being 58% increase in revenue, as well as 77% increase into 2025. Overall, providing about, let me do my calculations properly, about 171% increase in market cap by 2025. So we actually have about a $44 minimum price target for RMO by 2025. So this is definitely a longer term hold. Of course, there's a larger market that they have to go after, which they're only getting currently about 1% of with the current contracts that they have. So if they're able to capture about 9 more percent, you can expect about close to 10 times these numbers. So we're looking at the hundreds in the stock price, but our minimum is about 44. To add some more information, they're about to merge with RMG, a special purpose acquisition company with access to about 234 million. And they also just merged with Heritage, which is a environmental waste management service. They're going to be doing a refresh on all of their fleet vehicles, which ultimately puts up about 350 million total in current partnership revenue. That's about 16% of their market cap. But moving forward, though, what this merger with RMG is going to bring to the table is the fact that it will add 2 board seats to the board of directors for RMO, that being Bob Massini, former managing director of Goldman Sachs, and then Phil Casson, which had senior investment roles at Morgan Stanley, Goldman Sachs, and Merrill Lynch. And like I said, that'll add about 234 million to the merger, to the market cap of RMO, which is set to the current date is set to, I believe, March 30th on that. But like I said, some key investment partnerships is Borg Warner. They actually put a 10% investment in RMO back in 2019, and that's a rapidly growing alternative propulsion industry leader focused on power electronics and EV drivetrain components, and they make about 14 billion annually. So you can see those two companies running parallel with each other. And then, of course, what I spoke about a minute ago was Heritage Environment Services. But they also have partnerships with a lot of other companies that come to mind: Agility Fuel Solutions, Bluebird, Cascadia Motion, E-Truck, John Deere, Lightning Systems, Phoenix, R3E, and Vita, VITA. But ultimately, I think this company is going to be something for the longer term investment, and that's why I'm adding it to our watch list today. We can go in and look at some of this technical analysis, and I'll start from scratch. So basically, what we're looking at is this strong buy zone. As you can see, we initially actually alerted on RMO back at the beginning of February when it was sitting about 1858. We were expecting this to bounce back to at least 24 short term. It was a swing trade, but then we started really researching the company and understanding what it's providing to the EV space, and now we're actually looking at a longer term strong hold position on this moving forward. And so what we did was we pulled out a little bit late. It was the end of February when we finally pulled out, but ultimately the first week of March allowed for Tesla to bring down more pressure on the rest of the EV market and allowed for a lot of these opportunities to open up, such as RMO, which is currently trading about 967 as of after our session on Friday, that being March 5th, I believe, 2021. And so going into the market tomorrow, we're looking at placing our position moving forward and sharing that information with our investors as well, that we're looking for a very long-term hold on this, up to 3 to 4 years. This is definitely like what you can call a baby Tesla, if you ask me, with the fact that they're already capturing 68% of the U.S. markets already, and already focused on Europe as well, along with the rest of the global markets that they can tap into at any time, being a industry leader in the commercial EV battery manufacturing space. So but looking at the technical analysis, we always look at what's in front of us and the challenges we have to face in the near term as we go forward. So what I'm paying attention to on the stock and the technical analysis specifically is this 1917 level of resistance that we might run into once this is able to get above that 1190. We feel like this 960 to 1190 is a great buy zone. You're buying the stock much cheaper than what it's worth, and it's going to allow you to buy at least 10 shares for every $100 you invest in it, and go ahead and capture that now, so that once we double up around the 1917, you can let this go. You can, as long as you're adding on the way up, you could potentially get rid of half of your position at the 1917 and allow this to go to $40 and double up yet again. But continue holding this above that $40 range, which is where it peaked out, which is about the price target that we had. It peaked out about $39.71. But I've been really seeing that a lot of people are interested in this particular stock, and I really wanted to do some thorough DD on it and analysis on the chart to what to expect moving forward. Of course, we need to make sure that inflation is not still a concern going into this week. That's going to continue to pull the markets back, as we saw the markets actually rebound on Friday very well. There were some levels that I wish we were above to have some strong indicators that it was a true reversal and that we would retest some of these all-time highs that we're seeing on the SPY and we're seeing on the NASDAQ and stuff like that. But ultimately, Tesla is still pulling down on all of these EV plays. But, that's not a bad thing. That's a better buying opportunity, is how I want to portray that to anybody else. And that's what I've been telling our members here at Millennial Investments. I felt strongly confident that RMO is going to go back to $24. We just knew that Tesla was constantly pulling back on the EV space. So we analyzed Tesla very strongly to determine the price target we had on that pullback, which was about the $500 range, but it actually hit $520 before reversing and moving back upwards. So we're going to be analyzing Tesla moving forward. We suggest you do the same before making that entry going into tomorrow's pre-market and market open, in order to place our position properly and buy it at the cheapest price that we can, because it's a highly undervalued company at this stock price. Currently about 2.8 billion overall market cap, and we expect this to at least make 3.5 billion in revenue in the next 4 to 5 years. So that's going to double up the company, like we said earlier, about 171%. So it's definitely a longer term hold. This could definitely be one of your large cap stocks, mega cap stocks in the long run. The EV space is basically about 2033. You're going to see a large decrease in gas emission type vehicles, and a very steady increase of about 19% every year of more electrical vehicles hitting the market. And we actually see this being almost valued near the price points of Tesla, due to the fact that it's a commercial play. It's not a consumer play, and that's the difference between your Tesla. Although they have their EV truck that they're coming out with and everything, but their key strategy right now is consumer EV cars. And what we're focusing on is commercial EV plays, and RMO plays into that. We'll also be looking at another company. We'll do some more DD on it before we make the video, but look forward to us releasing that potentially today or tomorrow. And that's GTEC, ticker GTEC. And that's Greenland Technology. They just had a partnership with SOCMA, which is a Chinese EV commercial vehicle producer, that has given the rights to Greenland Technologies to distribute and sell those vehicles here in the U.S. So definitely some more to come. Feel free to subscribe to the channel if you found any of this information beneficial to you in your decision on RMO. I hope we were able to bring some highlights to light for you regarding the company and why we have such faith in it. And I really wanted to take the time to go in more detail. I know this is a little bit longer video than what we typically provide, but I really want to go into more detail in the stocks that you guys are showing interest in the most. And the RMO has been one of the top search and top watch videos on our playlist, so we really wanted to provide you with all the information we could. There's a lot more in the company that I could provide you with. I just didn't want to take too much time in making this video, just to get my point across of the faith that we have in this company and why we're making the sizable position we will be moving forward. If you have any questions or feedback, feel free to drop a comment below and let me know what you think about the stock. If there's any information that I didn't add to this video that you're aware of, feel free to drop it in the comments as well. And if anything, please be sure to like the video, and also to show your support, feel free to subscribe to receive more in-depth reviews about the companies that we are focused on here at Millennial Investments, and that we suggest every other player that's in the EV space and into EV plays to go into more depth and realize what's really going on in the commercial space. Other than that, I want to thank you for taking the time out of your day, whether it's over this weekend when we release this video, or even throughout this next week, or beyond that. I want to thank you for taking the time to watch this video. I hope this information was beneficial for you, and also I just ask that you show your support here at Millennial Investments. Otherwise, I hope you have a great rest of your weekend and a great trading week coming up. Hopefully we continue to see the markets pull back and everybody sees green days for the rest of this week after all the red bloodshed that some people may have saw. Other than that, have a great day, a great weekend, and we look forward to releasing some more videos today. So feel free to tune in later as we release them. Thank you.